Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I'm Aisha from Peshawar Model School, Noshira campus. Students, I hope all of you are fine and doing well at home. And I also hope that you're spending your vacation with great joy and you're also spending it in meaningful ways and doing your work accordingly, because we are sending you month by month your SVT task that you need to do. Students, I hope by now you should be done with April and May SVT and you should send the copies along to the school on time so that it can be marked and checked, and you'll get full marks if you send it on time. So please cooperate and send your copies to the school. Plus students, as I told you, I'm back again here with the SVT for the month of June, so you should get ready to solve it. Okay students, moving on toward the SVT for the month of June, but before that I want to add up one thing here, that these SVTs are quite important and you need to get it done with great care, because in the previous videos I've also mentioned that these SVTs are going to be marked and each SVT have its own marks. So you should be very careful and you should carry out all the work in a meaningful and creative way, since you have a lot of time and vacation. So students, moving on toward the SVT for the month of June, there are some notes for you, and the note is that first note is that you should buy a separate copy for this SVT task, as it is the new task, so you need to buy a new copy for yourself. It was mentioned in the previous SVT tasks as well, so I'm repeating it again. Students, and the second note for you, as you can see through the screen, is that write these questions in vacation copies and learn it. So you're going to write all these questions in your vacation copies, and then you are going to learn it as well, because students, these all questions that is included in your SVT is quite important, and they're from the chapter that is included in your syllabus for the midterm. So you should be very careful and you should learn it. Question number 1 for the SVT for month of June, moving towards it, is do reading of unit number 3 plus unit number 4 and write down difficult words in copies. So the thing that you're going to do is that you are going to read unit number 3 and 4, and then you're going to write the difficult words in your copies, your SVT copies. Students, your SVT copies should be of 4-line, it should be neat and clean, and you should maintain it properly as you do with your neat copies, because these are going to be marked. The question, as you can see through the screen, is to take out the difficult words and then you have to write it in your copies. This is your number 1 activity. Students, as you know that because of less time and shortage of time in the videos, we cannot read the whole chapter, the whole unit 3 and 4, but I can just tell you about the unit number 3 and 4, that what is in that unit. I will just explain that unit through summaries and mind map, so you'll get the idea of what is in the chapter, and then it is your job to just continue and read the whole chapter fully and then understand it. I'll just pick out the main points and I will just tell you about the summary, and I'll tell a lot and explain it through the summaries in the video. So you should cop up with me and then you should read it fully. Okay students, I want you to take out your book, and in the book take out unit number 3. So students, get ready to read the chapter. Students, you should be on page number 14. Page number is 14, as you can see it up here, and unit number is 3. Unit number 3 and page number is 14. So you should be on this page. Students, as earlier I mentioned in the video that we are not going to read the full chapter due to shortage of time on the video. So you should be on page number 14, unit number 3. So I'm going to explain it through mind maps and summary. I'm going to give you a brief and clear idea about what is in the chapter, and you're going to be very, very clear about what is in the chapter. So students, first I want to tell you that this chapter is about an elephant and the villagers, that how the villagers weigh an elephant. So the name of the chapter, as you can see, is Weighing an Elephant. Weighing an Elephant. Elephant, as you know, and kids and students, you must have visited zoo a lot of times, or not a lot of, you should have just visited it once, but there is a kind of a huge animal, like you can see on the side of the chapter. As you can see it up here, the picture of an elephant. You must have seen such kind of animal in a zoo. Elephants are always in the zoo. Even some people ride elephant, and the ride of elephant is amazing. So students, you must are aware of what animal is elephant. It is a kind of a huge animal. It has a long trunk and it have like flappers. So you must have seen it in the zoo. Students, so this chapter is about elephant and the villagers. What is in the chapter? I'm going to explain it through the mind maps. So the mind maps are going to be like 8 blocks in which I'm going to add up the main stuff of this chapter. Okay students, before moving on towards the mind map and explanation of the chapter, I want to tell you that this is unit number 3 and weighing of an elephant. Weighing an elephant. First of all, we need to know about the characters. So if we know about the characters, then we would know that who is acting in which situation and who is talking and what is going on in the events, who is participating. So first thing is the characters. In unit number 3, the characters are elephant. Elephant is a kind of animal. It cannot be a character, but in here it have a big role, and this chapter is based on an elephant. So elephant is in the character in our here. It is a main character. Villagers, in villagers, man, woman, little girl, old man. All of these are villagers. All the villagers are the characters because all of the villagers have some kind of part, but the parts of these man, woman, little girl and old man, the part and the role of these people are specified in the chapter. They have performed and acted. So that is why I have mentioned it separately. Otherwise, villagers, the whole villagers are the character because the whole villagers were there when the elephant came wandering into the village. So the characters are elephant, villagers, man, woman, and then little girl and then old man. The setting are village and riverside. The setting are the elephants came into the village. The elephant came into the village. So village setting means the place where this story, where this chapter take place. The setting, the places which is mentioned in the chapter are village and then riverside. Village and then riverside in the village are mentioned, are the setting in this chapter. Okay students, moving on toward the explanation of the chapter, I have 8 blocks and kind of a mind map for you in which I have clearly mentioned the number and the main events, the main situation that is going on in the chapter, through which the whole chapter can be clarified to you. So number 1, as you can see, is long ago an elephant wandered into a village. Long time ago, an elephant, a huge animal called elephant, which you must have seen in a zoo, came to wander in a village. Wander means he came just wandering in the jungle to a village. The villagers had never seen an elephant before. The village where the elephant came wandering, that villagers have never seen an elephant before. Mean it was such a huge animal, so they had never seen an elephant before. One man said, "What a large animal!" When the villagers saw that animal, that elephant, they said, "What a large animal!" One woman said, "It looks as heavy as 5 horses." One woman and that villagers said that this animal, this huge animal, which they have never seen before, is as heavy as 5 horses. Horses mean ghode. No one was sure of its exact weight. They wanted to weigh it. Means the villagers were not sure of its exact weight. They were just making guesses. Some of them were saying that it is a huge animal. Some of them were saying that it is as heavy as 5 horses. And some of them were saying that it is even heavier than 5 horses. So they were not sure about the elephant's exact weight. They wanted to weight it, they wanted to have its weight done. But what was the problem? They could have weighed it, but there was no scale with them which can weigh an elephant, because elephant was such a huge animal. So the villagers do not have such a big scale through which they could measure the weight of elephant. So there were no scales which can bear the weight of an elephant or which could measure it. So they said that there is no way to weight it. So they were saying that since they have no big scales which can bear the weight of an elephant and which can measure it, so they were hopeless, and they were just saying among each other that there is no way to weight it. But then a small little girl who was just listening all that conversation came up and said that, "Excuse me, I can weight the elephant." Then she said that, "I can weight the elephant." So a small girl gave them idea of how to weight an elephant. People laughed at her because she was small, and they were saying that how come that the whole villagers cannot measure an elephant, and then this little girl is saying that she can measure the elephant, or she can give the idea of how to measure an elephant. But one old man told the villagers to give her a chance. Then she gave her the idea, and what was her idea? The idea was that put the boat in water and put elephant in it. As it was the riverside, as I mentioned in the setting, that in the village there was the riverside as well, which is the setting in the chapter. This place is also mentioned in the chapter. So she said to put the boat in water and put elephant in it. She gave the idea, the little girl gave the idea that this is the only way we can weight the elephant, to take out the boat and put it in the river and then put the elephant in it. When the elephant was in the boat, the girl put a big white mark where the water was. When the elephant was put in the boat went down in the water, and as it went down, she marked up where the water went down with the boat. She put a big mark, white mark there. The boat came up after the elephant got out. When they took out the elephant of the boat came up. Then she said to put the heavy stones that were at the side of river. So where they were standing with the river, there were big stones, heavy stones. So then she said to the villagers to put that stones. When they took out the elephant, she said to put that stones in the boat. When the boat was back at the white mark, the girl said, "Stop, please." So they put the heavy stones in the boat one by one, and then when they were putting the stones, when the mark reached up, the mark that she put it, when the elephant was in the boat, when it reached, she said, "Stop, please. Stop putting the stones in the boat, please." She said, "Now we can weight the stones as they are exact weight as the elephant." Now the stones and the elephant were at the same size, because she stopped right where the elephant was in the boat and she put it at a mark. She stopped right there. She stopped putting the stones in the boat there. So the stones became the same weight as the elephant. They weighted the stones on scale one by one and ate all the weights. So they took out the stones from the boat, and then one by one they put the stones on the scale. All the stones that they put it on the boat that reached up that white big mark, so they put it on the scale and they weighed it. And then after that they ate up all the weights of the stones. So by this way they came to know about the weight of an elephant. So they came to know how much an elephant weighed. So everyone was amazed by the idea the little girl gave them, because through that idea they came to know about the size, about the weight of a huge animal that they have never seen before. So everyone clapped and everyone cheered, and they were appreciating the girl for her good idea. So students, this was the whole in the chapter. Hope you got it a lot through the mind map, because I've clearly explained each and everything, but still if you're not clear about that, I'm going to mention the summary again of this chapter. Students, you should read it yourself after I gave you the small idea, after I gave you the small brief explanation about this chapter. So students, in the chapter Weighing an Elephant, students, in this chapter the characters are elephant, villagers, men, woman, little girl, old man. Setting are riverside and then village, and then the riverside in the village is mentioned within the chapter. Students, the summary of the chapter, the story of the chapter is like that in a village, once in a village, an elephant came. Means an elephant came wandering, searching or wandering in the village. That villagers had never seen an elephant before. When they saw that elephant, that huge animal, they said to each other that what a big animal. Some of them said, like one of the women said, that it looks as heavy as 5 horses. And another woman said that no, it seems more heavier than 5 horses, because it is a huge animal. Students, you must have seen it in the zoo. It is mentioned in the side. I have already told you. You can just check up the picture as well. There is also kind of a creative kind of view of a picture of village when they were weighing an elephant. That is also shown to you in the book. You can just also check it out. You can just make creative things in your mind through this picture. Okay, so as we were explaining that they were saying, and they were just talking about the weight of that elephant, because they have never seen it. It was the first time that they saw an elephant. So then at last they came to the discussion that there is no way to weigh this elephant, this animal. So a little girl who was watching and listening, she said that I can give you the idea and I can weigh the elephant. So people laugh at her, because they were saying that she's such a small girl and her idea is of no use. But then an old man told them that they should give her a chance and should listen to her. And she got the perfect idea. What she did, she told the villagers to put the elephant in the boat. And when they put it, that she put a big white mark right where the water stops when the elephant was in the boat. Then they took out the elephant off the water and they put the heavy stones that were at the river side. They added the stone one by one, and when the boat reached right there where the elephant was in the boat, and they put it that white mark, when the stones reached that height of water, when the stones reached there, she said, "Stop, please." And when they stopped, they took out all the stones that were in the boat and weighed it on the scale one by one. Then they added up all the weights of the stones that were in the boat, and by that way they came to know the exact weight of the elephant. So this way they measured the elephant without any scale through that idea of the little girl. So everyone was amazed. They clapped and cheered, and they were happy that such a small girl, little girl, gave them a good idea, and they were amazed and happy that they listened to her. So in this way the villagers came to know about an elephant, a huge animal, and its weight. So this was in the chapter. Students, I hope you have got a clear idea of what is in the chapter. We haven't read it word by word, but I have explained it line by line to you. So now that it should be very, very clear to you. Still, if you have any problem, you can ask me below in the comments or in the group. Plus students, I am going to share a small kind of story that is related to this story. It is not exactly the same story as it is in this chapter, but it is a lot similar to this story, so you'll get more ideas and you'll get it clear about the chapter through that story as well. So it is going to be right at the end of this video. Before going and ending up the video, I want to tell you some kind of fun facts about the elephant that you can just note it down with yourself or just for your information. Students, elephants can live up to 70 years to 80 years. This is the maximum years they can live. An elephant can live 70 to 80 years. Elephants spend about 16 hours a day eating. Means 16 hours a day they eat. They eat as much as 495 pounds of food per day. This is a long sum of food. They eat this much food. Students, elephants are herbivores and mostly found in desert, marshes and forests. The male elephant is called bull and the female elephant is called cow. And a baby of it is called calf. So these were just kind of fun facts, 3 fun facts that I knew about the elephants, so that I wanted to share it with you. Students, thank you very much. That was that for the video. I hope you got the chapter, and in the end, please watch the story that is related to this chapter, so that if you're not clear, you'll become more clear about the pictures because it have animated pictures. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.
Weighing the elephant. A long time ago, people who lived in China knew that a strange, amazing beast called an elephant lived in a faraway land. But no one had ever seen one. One day, a ruler came to see the emperor of China. He brought a gift, and that gift was a real live elephant. Never in China had anyone seen anything like it. As soon as the royal guest left, it was all anyone at court could talk about. "This elephant is bigger than a water buffalo," said one mandarin. "Are you kidding?" said a second. "It's bigger than a rhino." "You must be joking," said a third. "This elephant is bigger than 2 rhinos." One day, the emperor said to his mandarins, "I want to know how much this amazing elephant weighs. Who can tell me how to weigh it?" "I can," said the first mandarin, who used to be a merchant. "We will just put it on a scale." "Not likely," said the emperor. "There is no scale that could hold the weight of an elephant without breaking." "I can tell you," said the second mandarin, who used to be a tailor. He said, "We will measure the elephant." "No," said the emperor with a sigh. "Even if you measured all the different parts of an elephant, you would still not know how much it weighs." "I can tell you," said the third mandarin, who used to be a baker. "We will cut up the elephant and cook it. Then we will know." "We will surely not do that," roared the emperor. "Is there no one who can tell me how to weigh the elephant?" Then a small voice said, "I can." All eyes turned to the voice. It was the emperor's son. "Son," said the emperor, "you should be in bed." "But I know how," said the boy, "and we don't need to cook it first." "Very well," said the emperor with a smile. "Tell me how to weigh the elephant." The boy described what to do. Here is what the boy said. "You put the elephant in a big boat and take the boat out on the water. Draw a line on the side of the boat where it meets the water, at the watermark. Then bring the boat back to shore and take the elephant off the boat. Put rocks on a boat one by one. When the boat sinks to the same watermark line it had when the elephant was in it, bring the boat to shore again, take out the rocks and weigh them one by one. That is how you can tell how much the elephant weighs. Wonderful! Wonderful! Shouted everyone. It will work, called out the first mandarin. What a clever plan, said the second. Who knew this child would know, said the third. And the fame of the emperor's son traveled far and wide. The end.
Okay, students, as you have watched the video and you have got a clear idea of what is in the chapter, so now it is your job to read it fully, because we already took a lot of time in the video and I've explained each and every line. So now it should be very clear to you, and I've also an idea that in the first you have to take out difficult words from unit 3 and you have to write it in the copy if you want to make it more creative meaning of that words as well. So it will be more clear and it will be very helpful for you. Students, now you have to take out difficult words, whatever seems difficult to you, write down in your SVT copy as activity number 1. Thank you. Take care of yourself and everybody around you. Stay home and stay safe.